Which is super simple and delicious potato cheese balls. So first we're going to start by making the potato covering. Now for that I've taken some potatoes, just boil them. I leave the instructions as to how to boil the potatoes, peel them and just grated them very fine. Now I'm going to add some pepper powder, about a teaspoon of pepper powder. All ingredients with their exact measurements will be in the description box below. This is again 1 teaspoon of mixed herbs, 1 teaspoon of red chili flakes. Then here I have some crushed garlic, about 5 to 6 cloves. If you have garlic powder, then 1 teaspoon of garlic powder and some salt to taste. We're going to mix all of this well into the potato. And then we're going to add just about 1.5 tablespoon of corn flour and about 2 tablespoons of breadcrumbs. I will leave a recipe at the end of this video as to how to make your own breadcrumbs at home. Now I'm going to make a corn slurry. So I've taken about 1 tablespoon of corn flour and about 1/4 cup of water and made a slurry. So now our potato covering is all ready. Our slurry is all ready. And I've just cut up some cheese cubes. So these are some cheese cubes which I've try to cut them into small even sized squares, and then we're just going to flatten up the potato filling like this, make a hollow like this, and then just place one of the little cheese cubes inside, and then again cover up the entire thing. And in this way we'll make all of these balls and keep them aside. Now you could add grated cheese too, but then you add these little cheese cubes, and once you bite into them, it's the cheese really melts once you fry it, and it's really delightful. So now once all the balls are prepared, we're just going to dip them into this slurry that we've prepared, and then we're going to dip them into this breadcrumbs. So they look like this, and then just keep them aside. You can also start heating up your oil on a low to medium flame. So I have left a recipe at the end of this video of how to make breadcrumbs at home with leftover bread slices sides. That is, sometimes we make sandwiches and we leave the sides. Don't throw them away. You can store them in your refrigerator in a steel box, and then after that just roast them and grind them up. I'll show you. You'll see that at the end of the recipe. And now that my oil is nice and heated up, I'm just going to deep fry these potato cheese balls till they're nice and golden brown in color. So don't overcrowd your pan. Put about 3 depending on the size of your pan, and keep an eye on them so they don't get burnt, and see that they're evenly fried. And keep your flame from low to medium, not on a very high flame. And they have to come to a nice golden brown color evenly all over. And once they're done, you can just drain the excess oil on a kitchen towel or kitchen napkin. And there they are, friends, all ready. So let them cool down before you bite into them. And they're really nice and crispy, and the outer covering also is really nice. So now we're just going to cut open one and see what it looks like inside. So take a nice sharp serrated knife, and there you can see the lovely cheese cube inside. So once you bite into it, it's just it just melts in your mouth and it tastes really lovely. So you can go with any type of cheese. You can even go with the stringy mozzarella. I've just gone with the simple Amul processed cheese. That's our favorite at my home. So that's the recipe for today. I hope you like it. So let's start with today's delicious chili cheese toast recipe. Now here I've taken some coriander, fresh coriander, and just soaked it in some water with which I've added a teaspoon of salt for about 15 minutes. Now I'm going to take 2 light green chilies. I'm going to take off the edges. I've washed the chilies well. And then we're going to chop the chilies really, really fine. Now it's very important that you wash the chilies, cut the chilies really, really fine for this chili cheese toast. So here I'm just chopping them roughly, and then I'm going to take another knife and really chop them fine, as you will see in the video. Now with respect to the coriander or the kothimir, after soaking it in some water to which salt has been added, I just drain all the water out and then wash the kothimir really well, and I'm going to chop that also really, really fine. Now, one tip I'd like to give you here: when you're buying coriander, buy the real fresh coriander which has these small little white flowers on them. That is the freshest you can get, and it's really delicious. So now here we have our coriander, we have our chopped chilies, and this I'm going to use some mixed herbs. You can use any brand, and this is just some processed cheese which I've grated. And this is a little bit of milk, about 4 tablespoons. Now you can use a mixture of processed cheese and mozzarella. You get this pizza blend of cheese. You can use that too, but right now I'm just using normal processed cheese. All I do is I just take the block of cheese and I grate it and keep it in my refrigerator whenever I require. It's always at hand. So now I'm just going to mix all the ingredients really well together. Now I'm going to add a little milk at a time, and I'm going to make it into a little kind of a paste. Now I'm also going to add a little bit of salt, a little bit of the mixed herbs, and I'm going to mix everything really well together. So what the milk does is it gives it some kind of a body and consistency and brings it to this kind of a spread kind of a consistency. So now I have my pan heating on a low to medium heat, and I've taken 2 slices of bread, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to evenly spread out this cheese mixture that I've prepared all over the slice of bread. So at this point, keep your pan or tawa, heating up on a low to medium flame. So now this mixture that I've made is enough for about 4 slices of bread, because I'm going to add a generous amount of the cheese mixture. And once we cut up each slice into 2 halves, we get about 8 slices. So now my pan is nice and hot. I'm just going to add half a teaspoon of butter and just spread it around. And then I'm going to place 2 slices, of the bread on the tawa. And I'm going to keep it on a low flame for just about half a minute. And I'm going to let the bread toast a little, the base of the bread toast a little. Now you can use brown bread, you can use whole grain bread. And I'll just cover it with a lid and let it just cook for another half minute, till the cheese just starts to lightly bubble. And then after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer this to a microwave safe proof dish or a plate, because I'm going to microwave this for just a minute so that I get the cheese nice and melted. So in the meantime, I'm going to put a little more butter on the pan, and I'm going to toast the other 2 slices that we've applied the cheese and chili spread to. So you can make this filling and keep it in your fridge, and whenever you feel like you can just make this chili cheese toast. So now in the meantime, I'm just going to microwave the other 2 slices for just a minute in my microwave so the cheese gets nice and melted and bubbly. Now these other 2 slices are heating up, and now you see the ones that have come out of the microwave. The cheese has nicely melted all evenly. And I'll show you the base of the bread also is nice and light and golden brown in color. Keep an eye on it when it's on the pan. It shouldn't get burnt at the bottom. We want this nice crispy kind of a texture to this chili cheese toast. And now once all the toasts are ready and they've cooled down a little bit, just cut them up into half with a nice sharp serrated knife. And your chili cheese toast is all ready. So you can have this all by itself, or you can club it up with some ketchup or any sauce that you like. So this is a nice anytime snack, or even a light breakfast or a light evening meal. I'm sure all the kiddies will love this. This is a big hit at my home with my family. And that's it, friends. Your chili cheese toast is all ready. So do try out this simple and really easy. So first I'm going to show you how I make my paneer. So here I have about 1 liter of milk. Now you can add vinegar, but I've added about 2 tablespoons of lime juice. Otherwise you can add 2 tablespoons of white vinegar. And just keep stirring this on a low to medium heat. First you need to bring your milk to a boil and then add the vinegar or the lime juice. And then you will see that it breaks like this. So now you can put off the gas and just stir it for a while. Then just put a muslin cloth like this or a large gent's kerchief onto a colander which has a vessel below it. And we are just going to pour this into the muslin cloth. And then just dab it down like this. And put a heavy weight, tie it up and put a heavy weight, and we're going to set this aside for at least 2 to 3 hours and then even refrigerate it. Now don't throw away the liquid, that is whey, and you can use it for making your chapatis, puris, etc. So now I've kept my paneer aside for at least 5 hours and I put it in the refrigerator to set. And after that, when I open it up, you can see that my paneer is all nice and formed. And keeping it in the refrigerator also firms it up a bit and it becomes easier to even cut it up. So you can see I have my lovely cottage cheese, homemade cottage cheese or paneer, which you can use for so many dishes. Now I'm just going to cut them up into strips like this, and to make it into smaller pieces I'm going to cut it up into halves. Now I have a lot of paneer dishes on my channel, so just go to my channel's main page and then go to playlist and then go to paneer recipes, and you'll find many recipes which you can make. So in this way our paneer is ready. Isn't it super simple, guys? So now I'm going to prepare the batter. So I've taken a large mixing bowl to which I've added about 2 tablespoons of besan or chickpea flour. I'm going to add a pinch of salt, and I'm going to also add about a teaspoon of baking soda. Now this makes the batter very nice and fluffy and crispy, and so your paneer pakodas also become nice and crispy. Now mix everything together, add a little bit of water, and we want a thick batter. It should not be runny, it should not be too thick, but just the right consistency, and whisk it so that you don't have any lumps. Now I've kept my oil for heating, so I'm just going to add about 2 tablespoons of that hot oil. That's called mohan, and that makes the paneer pakodas even more crispy. Now I'm just going to put the paneer into this and coat it well. I've kept my oil for heating on a low to medium, and I'm just going to put them into the oil and fry them till they're nice and golden brown and crispy. So I've got many dishes of paneer, like palak paneer, there's palak paneer paratha recipe, there's a recipe for paneer chili fry, Manchurian paneer, paneer tikka masala. So there is a big range of paneer dishes. I will leave a link to the playlist of my paneer dishes in the description box below. So just click it and it will take you to all my paneer dishes. So that's it, friends, and all I've done is drained it on some kitchen napkins to drain off the excess oil, and then when serving I've just sprinkled a little bit of chili powder and chaat masala and served it with some ketchup. So bake this and enjoy it. So friends, let's see today's Subway style Toasties. Now here I've got some French garlic bread. I'm just going to cut it up into two equal halves, and then I'm going to slice each of the halves like this. So I'm going to get four, Toasties out of this one bread. So it's going to look like this. So use a serrated sharp knife and cut it up really slowly so that you get a nice, even toasty. And you try to use very fresh, French bread, the soft one, not the hard baguettes, but the soft French breads with, garlic or, some kind of herbs. Now I'm just going to spread some cheese spread. Now I'm using a flavored one. I'm using the jalapeno cheese spread, but you can use a simple cheese spread. You can use a garlic cheese spread. The choice is yours. But add a generous amount and, spread it out really nicely and evenly. So this is an ideal, weekend kind of a brunch or evening kind of snack which you can share with your family. And, if you enjoy it over a movie or a book, and if you don't want to cook something really elaborate and just want to have something really easy, then this is the go-to recipe. So using the flat end of a spoon, just spread it out really nicely and evenly. This has very few ingredients, but the end result is really, nice and delicious. This is a big favorite at my home, especially on a Friday evening when I just don't want to cook anything elaborate and just want to relax. So this is something we can, we tend to make something really easy. And okay, now I'm just going to drizzle some red chili sauce. Now this is not a sponsored video, but we like using the Sam's brand of red chili sauce because it's just the perfect, chili sauce. It doesn't have extra sweetness or extra spiciness. So if you can get your hands on that brand, then, it will really taste like it does at my place. And now just again evenly spread it out all over the top of the cheese spread. Now I'm just going to place these pepperoni pieces. Now I'm using the chicken pepperoni, but you can use any of your choice, whatever you have at hand. Now if you don't have pepperoni, you can also use salami, but pepperoni has a different flavor. So if you can get your hands on pepperoni, if you're asking where I get this from, I got it from Nature's Basket. It's easily available. So if you have a branch or you're ordering online, you can do that. Again, it's not sponsored, but just helping you out with some tips. So now I've sliced some onion really thinly. So I'm just going to add the onion. Now I've taken, cheese slices and cut one cheese slice into four thin strips like this. And I'm just going to place this across. Now this would be a good time to preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes. Now I'm just going to add some thinly sliced jalapenos. Next, I'm going to add a generous amount of pizza cheese. Now, what this pizza cheese is a mixture of mozzarella, processed cheese. So you get this, you get this easily in stores. Now I'm just going to sprinkle some pepper powder, some mixed herb powder, and some red chili flakes. And now I'm just going to put it into my preheated oven, and I'm going to use the toast function, not the bake function, but I'm going to use the toast function, and I'm going to place it on my baking tray in this manner so that the bars above it, cook it really, really well, or toast it really, really well. And we're going to toast this for about 15 minutes. So keep an eye on it. All you want is the cheese to really melt through. And that's it, guys. Your toasties are ready. I would love to, I like to have them really hot out of the oven. It tastes really, really divine. So do try out this recipe, and I also have put up a recipe for a sub sandwich. I will leave a link below. So guys, let's see how to prepare these beautiful chicken momos. It's a super simple recipe. It just has two parts, the dough and the filling. So now let's start with the dough. Now for the dough, I've just taken 1 cup of maida, 1 cup of corn flour, a little bit of salt to taste, and room temperature water. I'm just going to mix both the flours in a bowl. Now I leave all the measurements with in grams, etc. in the description box below, so you can go there and check the entire all the ingredients as well as the entire recipe. Now I'm just going to add a little water at a time. I've also added this pinch of salt, or the salt to taste, and I'm just going to knead this to a very soft yet firm dough, something like you would for a normal roti kind of consistency, very elastic and soft. Now, the important thing is that you need to rest the dough or keep it aside for at least an hour. So I just covered it with a cloth, a dry kitchen cloth, and kept it aside for 1 hour exactly. Now let's move on to the filling. Now for the filling, I've used about 250 grams of chicken mince. Now what I did is I just took chicken boneless breast and just chopped it up fine and ran it through my mixer. Now I also have half a cup of jalapenos, half a cup of spring onion, the bulb part, the onion part chopped fine, the green part of the spring onion chopped fine. I'm also going to use some coriander, that is normal coriander, then about a tablespoon of ginger garlic paste, some green chili sauce, soya sauce, some vinegar, and some salt and pepper. These are all the only ingredients you require. Now I'm just going to heat about a tablespoon of oil in a pan. Now when my oil is nice and hot, I'm going to add the ginger garlic paste. I'm going to add the onion part of the spring onion as well as the greens. I'm going to fry everything really well. Now I'm going to add the green chili sauce. And now I'm going to add up this minced up chicken. So like I said, you can use the ready-made mince, but I prefer buying the boneless breast, chopping it fine with a sharp knife and then running it to my mixer, just for about half a minute or so. And now we're going to cook this chicken just till it turns a little white. We don't want to overcook the chicken. Transfer this to a bowl. And now I'm going to add the jalapenos. I'm going to add my salt and pepper. And I'm going to add the coriander and the vinegar. Give everything a nice mix. Now I like to get my hands in there and mix everything really well. Now for the dough, I'm just going to roll them out into very small balls like you would with a Indian puri. It has to be nice and evenly shaped. You can also use the help of some cutter to make an exact round shape. I'm just going to take a little bit of the filling, place it in the center. Now here comes my husband Abhijit's help, because he is really good at all of this, and the perfection and the finesse, Abhijit does it best. So now just wet the top portion of the dough, and then just bring it down to the other portion, seal it well, and then let's make these kind of folds. This is the easiest design, and that's it. And just shape it up a bit, make it flat at the edge, and just keep it aside. I'll show you one more. So just wet it up on the top and the lower part, just with a little bit of water, and make folds like this. Now this is a good time to prepare your steamer. Put some water, let the water start to boil, and just brush it with some oil. That that way the momos won't stick to the bottom. Now this is another pattern, a very simple one. You just fold it and bring it together, the ends like this. But see that your ends are sealed because we don't want the filling coming out. I'll just show it to you again. Just bring the two ends together. This is also a very pretty pattern. Now if you want to go with a very simple pattern, then you can just make it like we with our karanjis or our nyoris, just fold it at the edge. That's also a very simple pattern. And then this is one of my favorite that I already showed you, but I like these. They look very cute. Don't put a lot of water, just put a little bit of water. And this is of course the modak shape. which is also very easy and it looks really really pretty. Just see that you remove the excess from the top. This also looks very cute, like a little dumpling. So now keep all your momos ready, and once the water in your steamer starts to boil, tell me which is your favorite shape among all of these. You can write in the comment section below. And just place them on your steamer, on the plate, that is a perforated plate, so that you have enough of water in your steamer, so that the water is boiling on a high flame. And you're going to close your steamer and keep it on a high flame for 20 minutes. Put a timer, guys, and after 20 minutes, when your steamer has completely cooled, your momos are all ready. They have to look transparent, or translucent rather, like this. And because we've oiled the bottom, it's very simple to pick them up. Now I prepared a sauce. I just used 2 tablespoons of Szechuan chutney, 2 tablespoons of red chili sauce, and 1 teaspoon of sweet onion sauce. And I just made this dip because it goes so well with these momos. You have to have these momos steaming hot, so you can make them in, and put them in your refrigerator, and when you're ready to eat, just steam them and prepare the sauce, dip them, and just enjoy this lovely experience.